Hi, I'm Trevor Lund from RevTrev.com, and in my last video for reviewing books, I mentioned that the series that Jack Whyte wrote about the whole story about Arthur was done with the final book called The Eagle. But I said there's one more. And what Jack did, was he went back to a time in the story that had lots of questions that were left unanswered. And he retold the story from another point of view. And he put those answers in that you're kind of wondering about. Now, let me explain. Uh, Throughout the story that he's told, he's following the life of Merlin. And Merlin is the narrator for most of the books from I can't even remember the numbers right now, but the first two books are narrated by his grandfather, Publius Verus, and then I think the next few, three or four or five, are narrated by Merlin. So you just get Merlin's point of view. And the last two are narrated by Clothar, the Frank, Lancelot. But what Jack does is he does a really good storytelling to leave you lots of questions about Uther. That's right, Uther, by Jack Whyte. And he's, from Merlin's point of view, you only see what Merlin sees, and what Merlin sees is the possibility that Uther killed his wife, the possibility that he's raping women, the possibility that he's an idiot when it comes to all kinds of battles, the possibility that he's just out ravishing, just killing his followers by doing stupid things in battle, and you just don't know. You don't like the guy. Merlin and Uther were raised together. They should be friends. All these things are happening, and you just don't like them. And so Jack goes back and retells it from Uther's point of view. And he says in the preface, how difficult he was. He didn't want to retell the story, but he thought he wanted to expand on what was going on, and because he can't have Uther narrate when Uther is going to die in this book. I did read a book where the narrator died after the first chapter. Absolutely fantastic. But the perspective needs to change. And Jack goes through and tells the story of Uther. And I really started to like the guy. I really started to see what he was going through. I started to, Jack does a wonderful job of endearing Uther to you. And this book is written quite a few years after the first set, because his writing has really improved too. There's some statements in there that just made me stop, and I reread them and reread them, and it's like, wow, it's a powerful statement. Just what was the one I really liked? It's she leaned into his silence and spoke. The imagery there was just like, oh, you could see it happening. It was like, wow, I like that. Jack has always been a masterful storyteller, but his storytelling gets even better with this book. And if you've read the entire series, if you read the series before or after, you could even pick up this book and get an idea of what's going on, and probably get drawn into the whole series. It's very plausible, historically plausible, fits very well with the rest of the story. Oh, there's one thing that doesn't. Is he talks about Merlin getting this bear insignia on his cape when they become commanders of Camelot, and because of a bear that Merlin kills. Now, there's no mention I can remember in the earlier story that that Merlin killed a bear when he was younger. Might have been there. I think I missed it. But the one that I remember is when he's older, after Uther dies, that he kills a bear in Scotland, or in Ireland. Scotland, I think, yeah. I get confused. It's not Scotland. It's whatever land they call it then. And I'm sorry, I'm getting tired from doing these things. My mind isn't thinking right. Anyway, Arthur by Jack Whyte is a book you can read without knowing the whole series. It'll get you into the series. Or if you're like me and you've read the whole series, you want to find out what happened. Yeah, that's the book. Anyway, I'm Trevor Lund, RevTrev.com.